Well, this is my Tuesday morning venture. I shut this furnace down due to high carbon monoxide. And you can see the lens is melted out. But as I'm getting into this thing, it smells like complete death. I mean, something died somewhere in this thing. I don't know what. But, I mean, it was producing like 3,000 parts per million. So I'm expecting to get this thing apart. Oh no. See back there? Flies. For some reason, flies love this furnace. Don't know why. They go down the intake and they get in the furnace and they get in the back of that heat exchanger down the intake. I guarantee when I pull this thing apart, that back coupling box is going to be filled with flies. This is going to stink. Now, this heat exchanger is only 2 years old. And, I don't know, we had a problem with it before. I don't know what the problem was. But now, when I did a combustion test, I was over 3,000 parts per million. And like I said before, for some reason, flies in certain areas, and I've had it in this neighborhood before, where actually almost on the same furnace, where they love this heat exchanger for some reason, and it stinks. So I really don't want to pop this open, but we'll see. Oh man, flies. Flies plugged up the heat exchanger. Nasty. So that's why we're replacing that heat exchanger. Believe it or not, it's just man, that sucks. Look at that. Oh. Well, I'm going to be doing this heat exchanger for a few hours. I'll get more video. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? It is 9:30. I've been here roughly an hour and 10 minutes. I've already got the heat exchanger out and the new one half put together, so this is 90 plus infinity. Wait a minute, what do I want to do here? No way. Oh, would help to put it on the right way. Like, why don't the screws line up? This one, I'm just going to hit the bottom one here. The rest of these screws in here. One thing I noticed when I got this apart, I'm looking at the burners. I'm looking at, oh, it's kind of normal. You know, these jiggle around a little, but that igniter's not normal. That igniter should be 3/16 away from that. So I gotta bend that down unless the thing just warped from heat. So I gotta get that apart and figure out. I'll do it now while it's out, because if I do it while it's in, it's a real pain. Okay, we got it back together. She is fired. So this was the, I don't even know what you want to call this heat exchanger. Full of flies. Alright, she's up and running. Let's see. I got about 8:30. I have got here right around 20 after 8. And I'm all back together and fired at 10:44, so that's 2 hours and 25 minutes for the heat exchanger. not too terrible. Okay, I'm just leaving that call right now. Ooh, there's branches. It's the disadvantages of having a high truck. You hit the branches all the time. But I'm just leaving that call right now. That call, I kind of called that one because I've seen that one time before, and it was almost in the same neighborhood. It was in, I don't have a mount for my camera, so it's laying on my dash and making some turns. Almost in the same neighborhood. It happened to me about 9 years ago.
At the end of the road, turn right, Highway 3.
Couldn't figure out what was wrong with the furnace 9 years ago. Get the thing apart, it was filled with flies. So I'm driving, so I wish I had a mount for this camera. I gotta buy one. But when I talked to this guy last time, because the heat exchanger was only 2 years old, I'm like, this is the only thing it can be. And he's like, you're crazy. He's like, that's not what's happening. Something's up with the furnace. You know, he was kind of pissed off.
Turn left, Interstate 94, westbound.
When I talked to him last time, I go, well, let me get the thing pulled apart. We'll pull that heat exchanger apart, and I'll show you. Because that's the only thing it could have been. You know, something that, you know, the heat exchanger wasn't totally compromised. It was just plugged up with bugs. And sure enough, I pulled it apart, laid it outside for him, pulled the back off that thing, and the thing was plugged up with flies, as you've seen on the video. But those are some of the weirdest things you run into doing this trade, you know, doing heat exchangers. And the only way I found that, I knew something was going on with the heat exchanger, but the only way I found it really was doing a combustion test. So, you know, it's very key. You got to use all the tools in your bag, you know, to figure out what the heck's going on, and that was an odd one. But off to the next one I go. I'm gonna go look at it. I gotta double check the heat exchanger. I don't know the exact circumstances of the call, but that's where I'm going right now. But yeah, I hope this one kind of, I don't know, helps somehow. It's a really odd one that you only see. This is the only one I've seen in the last 10, well, the second one I've seen in 10 years. So keep it in mind. It's crazy, but it happens. Alright guys, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.